I have heard of homily, and I'm not sure.
Hello. Hey. Yeah, good morning everyone and good morning every member. Can you hear my voice right? Okay. So soon. Now currently it's already end of our February. And here you see again is our monthly summary and the layout. And today our speaker is Lisa. Yeah, I need to introduce what is the homily doing to the new member and the newcomer. So just give me a 5 minutes to briefly introduce, then we will start the classes. So what is homily? Homily is a stock analysis software supplier for over 22 years. And it also is an international stock school for 22 years. It's a multinational enterprise integrating software, R&D, sales, service, and stock knowledge training, and which branches all over the world. In the past 22 years, we give some solution to help most investors to solve common problem in their invest. Hi. So what is the meaning and the position of the homily? Promote the stock market culture and lesson from the history. We are not the direct creator of WOW. And here you can see we are the warrior of the discipline of WOW and do things with heart and treat the people with sincerity and win the future. So here you can see this one is all our company development. It's all about the history. 1998 we starting from the China. 2009 we come to Singapore. 2030 is Malaysia. 14 Hong Kong and 15 Canada and Thailand. 2017 is Vietnam and 2018 is Korea. So currently already almost 8 years we can say in Malaysia. So here you can see we have 3 branches in Malaysia. So first one is in Kuala Lumpur office at the Plaza Central, Penang office at the Office Tower Hotel Royal Penang, and the JB office can found in the Jalan Austin Heights. So no matter you are at the Kelantan, Sarawak, Sabah, all these places, no need to worry. Our service will cover all of the places. You can see this one is our professional service team. So you can see from here, Penang branches will cover for the Ipoh and the Penang. And the JB is Melaka and the JB. Kuala Lumpur head office service team will cover for the Kuching, Cebu. Quite a while, give us some time, we'll extend more. And here you can see, this one is all our company or no that given by the other government and other country. Okay, so here what we get, okay, we get the Singapore Enterprise Award 2013 and 2014. And here is the Business Trust and the Stock Exchange and the Financial Award for the 2018. So yeah, this is some proof of NIA. Still got many proof that we can provide for you all. And so here you can see to earn in the stock market, right? We have prepared 3 things. We need to prepare ourselves for these 3 things: knowledge, tool, and the mindset. Okay, so yeah, don't worry, homily already prepare all these things for you. So tool is about our software, mindset, and the knowledge is can learn that from our courses, all the services that we are provided. So our courses actually is divided into 3. Software operation, technical analysis, and the special activity. So all these things is not just the same thing, but always changing according the trend of the market. So no need to worry so much. So first one, this one is our investment philosophy. We got 3. Okay, homily investment philosophy. Regard the member, I think all of you is already know about the detail, but it's still very important. We need to practice it and use it practical. So first is in-depth first, stop next. Second is the long-term first, short-term next. And third is operate the familiar. Okay, so the stock investment might be based on the market environment and the long-term trend of the stock to determine the investment operation strategy. And according to one's own investment ability, do the market and the stock that can be grasped only. Okay, so no need. We need to do all of the changes. We just grab for one and already good enough. Yeah, so this one is Lisa, is our senior lecturer. So she has very strong technical analysis background. Okay, she is very good at the pattern cash out and has a special teaching experience to the investor. Besides, she is also good at putting the Dow theory, wave theory, and the time video into the practice. She is trust that there is not unprofitable market, just only unprofitable operation. Okay, yeah, although our market is no so is sideways or downtrend, but some of the stock really is always increasing. So how we choose this stock, how we pick it. So our lecturer Lisa will will teach us how to do it. Yeah, enjoy the class. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for host Vicky. Okay, good morning, guys. Can you hear me, dear homely members and the newcomers? If you can hear me and I also can see my screen, maybe you can give me one in the chat room. Thank you. Okay, great. Can see you. Yeah. So let's start our class this morning. Okay, as a host side today, the topic is about the monthly summary and the layout, right? Since today is the last day of February, okay? Okay, before the class, I still like to emphasize one more time about our disclaimer, because later we'll mention a lot of shares in the class. So all the shares mentioned in the class is only for educational purpose and not for recommendation. Okay. As for today's class, we have three parts. Part one is a market news analysis. But basically, there are only two very important news. One is about the 10 years of the 10-year US 10-year years, right? And the second one is about the feel for inflation. Yeah. And the second part is the market outlook. Basically, we will analyze the chart according to Homely software, and which is about the market outlook for US market, and the most important is for KLCI for Malaysia one. Okay, and the last part is the most suitable trading strategy for current markets. Okay. Okay, first one, let's take a look for this chart, which is the year on the 10-year treasury notes, right? And this is the performance of whole February. We can see very clearly that the whole February, it rose a lot, right? And hit a new high actually. The point is the high point rose to 1.51 on Thursday. Friday, which means the last trading day, it has slid down a little bit, right? But even Friday slide down a little bit, but in the whole February, it still rose more than 0.3% in February. Yeah, and it is the largest 1 month rise since November 2016. Okay, so we may wonder what's the relation between the year of to the stock market, right? And recently we can see very clearly, especially the last week, the three composite index of US all dropped, right? Yeah. So especially about the Nasdaq, which is the composite index for the high tech stocks, dropped the most, right? Yeah, in last week. And another one is about fuel for the inflation, because the investors sorry, yeah, the investors fearful that the Federal Reserve will starting raising interest rate earlier than previously expected. So that's why we can see on last Friday, on this Friday, last trading day of this week, which means this Friday, yeah, Dow Jones and also SPX dropped only the, yeah, correct. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go on. Yeah, let's take a look for this chart. This is the performance of this week for the three indexes in US, right? So this week actually was the worst performance from last October until now for the three indexes in US market. The worst performance in this week. So what's the relation between those key points? Either the years or the fuel for inflation. As we know, in a certain period of time, the investment capital was, we can see the investment capital in the markets actually is fixed, right? Yeah, it's fixed. So if, let's say, if the interest rate increased, which means the investors would like to put their money in the bank or to buy some other financial products in the bank from the bank. So that's why they may take the money out from the stock markets. And also, if the 10-year years keep rising, that's the same logic, right? Yeah, which means people will prefer to invest in some other markets instead of the stock markets. Yeah, especially for those high tech stocks, because as we know, they already rise. They already rose for quite a long time. They like to take profits, right, and use this money to buy some other products, some other financial products, either the bonds or some other or save in the bank, right? Yeah, if the inflation, if the interest rate increased, okay. So we can see, let's make a short conclusion, which means actually those news will have the bad influence to the stock market, or we can say that the negative influence to the market, to the stock market. So that's why this week we can see the market cracked, retrace back, right? Retrace back. Okay. But how long will it influence the stock market? That's a question. So we'd like to use the chart to make a short, make a analysis based on the chart. Okay, use the Homely software. Okay, first of all, let's take a look for the Dow Jones index. Okay, based on the daily chart, you can see very clearly. Just now we mentioned this Friday, for Thursday and Friday. Oh yeah, the market dropped very quickly, right? Yeah, and based on the indicator we learned previously. Okay, the first one is Homely Rainbow, as we know that the lines, right? Yeah, will have the support to the price or resistance to the price. And the second one, which is the blue bar, according to Homely indicator, which is chips distribution. So after Friday, we can see actually Friday the closing price, it already break down the green line support of Homely Rainbow, right? Of Homely Rainbow. As we know, the green line actually is very important. So the previously uptrend, I mean the latest uptrend wave, it is starting from this day. We can consider it starting from this day when the price break out the green line resistance or stands above the green line again. So which means next week, which means the beginning, the first week of March will be very important. If the market continue drop, then high possibility it may drop down or break down break down the yellow line support and can only get support from here, the longest blue bar, which stands for the biggest volume, right? Top volume up here. So can only drop to this place, and then when drop to this place, then can only get support. And also maybe it's blue lines where also the blue line support the same place. So if next week, I mean the first trading day, if the market didn't rebound, respect, then keep dropping, then it will come to this place. Okay, come to this place. So we can still use the green line as very important standard for us, especially for the short-term trading. Okay, because previously we can see, especially using the previous wave, uptrend wave, last time when it dropped back, touch the green line, it can get support, then go up again. And here, yeah, this time it is the yellow lines. And so next week, we need to consider about the yellow line support or the green line, whether can stand above the green line again or not. If cannot, then high possibility it may come to this place. So as Homely member, you can use your software to check what's the detail points, of this longest blue bar over here, okay? You just move your mouse down, then you will see the white figure over here on the top, which is the detail points, right? But it's not this one, because now I'm putting my mouse in around this blue bar, not the longest blue bar. So you need to move down to see what's the detail points of the strongest support, okay? This is for Homely members, but for non-members, if you want to know more details, what's the key points, then maybe after class you can find your teacher who invite you attend our class, okay? Yeah. Okay, so this is the support and resistance analysis, and we may pay close attention to the performance of next week of Dow Jones, okay? If keep dropping, then high possibility it can only get support from here. Okay, let's go on. And this chart I have showed to you. I think it is in the end of February. Yeah. Oh, sorry, end of January. I show this chart to you. At that time, I mentioned we draw the uptrend channel, right? Yeah, uptrend channel over here. So at that time, we can see very clearly the price already hits the upper channel of the uptrend channel, so which stands for the resistance, and also according to Homely indicator, to check the oversold and overbought, we see the yellow candle over here stands for overbought, right? Yeah, overbought, which means risk, and also hit the resistance. So from the long-term run, we can see maybe it's going to crack for at least 1 or 2 months, right? At least 1 or 2 months. So you can see very clearly this month, yeah, the performance is not so good. And especially these 2 weeks, right? Yeah, these 2 weeks. Especially after Chinese New Year, you can see the Nasdaq Composite Index drop from the high points very quickly. And till this Friday, you can see it almost break down the yellow line support. Previously, we can see every time when it cracked, it will only crack for several days, maybe 3 to 5 days, right? And it will never break down the green line. But this time we can see it break down the green line already. Yeah, we can see on this day it break down the green line, and next 2 days it rebound, try to bounce back, but it didn't break out the green line resistance, right? Yeah, didn't break down the green line resistance, and until now we can see the line already turned downwards, which indicates short term is going to crack for some time, right? For some time. But if next week it keep dropping, then we will know next support will be over here. Yeah, this blue bar and also the blue lines area, right? So it's a kind of a medium-term correction, because once it break down the yellow lines of a Homely rainbow, then we know it will correct for maybe around 3 weeks, right? Yeah, 3 weeks, just like the previous time. Yeah, so it's very dangerous now for the Nasdaq Composite Index. Okay, so see next week what's our performance for this index. So we can see maybe in the March, especially for the first half of March, the market performance was not so good. Yeah, we can predict, right? Yeah. And next the index, which is the HSI Hang Seng Index, because somebody may care about Hong Kong market, right? Or do some trading in Hong Kong shares. So let's take a look for the HSI. Okay, for HSI, we can see very clearly now it is still in the medium term uptrend because it is still stands above the yellow lines of the rainbow. And for short term, this Friday drop a lot, break down the green line. And according to dynamic chips, we can see it already turned purple, which means showing oversold already. So if next Monday it can stand above the green line again, which means the short-term correction already finished, right? So also it is very important. But let's say if keep dropping, then high possibility it retreats back to this place because the longest blue bar is over here in this place, in this area, right? Yeah, so still have very big space to drop. So also it is very important for next week performance for HSI. We hope it can stand above the green line again. So hope it's only a kind of a short-term correction, but we know it is very easy to influenced by the US market and also by the China markets, right? Yeah, so you need to pay attention to the US one and also to some other markets. Yeah, there's a Hang Seng Index, okay? But anyhow, we can still see, we can find now it is oversold, short-term oversold already. So if it is oversold, we know it stands for the opportunity, right? Opportunity for short-term. But we can only wait until the purple color change to yellow, then that's a short-term entry point. Otherwise, if the price keep dropping and come down, then the purple color will continue because we know oversold or overbought is not a point. It's not a point. It's an area, right? So if the price keep dropping, then it will continue showing as purple color. Yeah. So we need to wait. Okay. And the best performance is that next Monday, the candle can break out, can stand above the green line again, then which means the short-term correction finish, then it's another maybe increased position point if it is a stock, right? Yeah. Or next uptrend wave, okay. Then next one is the chart for KLCI, monthly chart for KLCI. You can see actually in the end of January, I also showed this chart to you. At that time, we can see since the low high points is still yeah, we can connect the high points. Oh no, sorry, it's not connecting the high points. It is due to the rainbow lines resistance because after November and November and December. Yeah, last November and December rebound. 2 months rebound, right? Yeah, we can see it already hit or touch the resistance of the lines of Harmony Rainbow. We can see blue lines and the yellow lines all over here. And also the most important is that the lines are still keeping downwards, especially the yellow lines. So we see it is very strong resistance. And also if you know how to see the candles, we can see it is very high, very long upper shadow, which stands for the selling pressure, right? Yeah, selling pressure. And also the most important, you can see the longest blue bar over here, which stands for the very strong resistance. Yeah, because very heavy volume in this area. Yeah, so once the price come to this area, then people will sell to get rid of the trade, right? Yeah, So that's why this is January. Yeah, it's a yin candle, very big yin candle, and the candle pattern we can see it is a kind of a bearish engulfing, not so good. And this candle, the small yang doji, stands for February closing as very small yang doji. And if cannot break out one half of the previously in candle, then which means it will keep sideways between over here, or yeah, we can see it's a kind of a sideways, yeah, from the long-term run, right? Since the upper side will got very strong resistance, very strong resistance to the KLCI. It's not easy to the KLCI to go up, to continue up. So high possibility may keep sideways in this area because it is a monthly chart. So you may see the range is very small, but actually if we switch to weekly chart and the daily chart, you still can find some range, right? Some space for you to trade a short-term trading. Yeah. Okay, so for weekly chart, we can see now it already dropped to the green line support area. You see, especially these few weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 weeks, the closing price never break down the homely rainbow green line, right? And also from another hand, you can see the very long blue bars all over here, right? Yeah, the longest blue bars all over here. So which means the price may keep sideways in this area, up and down. Yeah, up and down, because all the volumes all concentrated in this place, right? And also the white lines resistance. Yeah, so that's from the weekly chart, sideways. And from the daily chart, which stands for the short term, we can see after this week drop, it already touched the longest blue bar, which stands for very strong support. Yeah, very strong support. But actually, now it is still in the medium-term downtrend, right? Medium-term downtrend. We can see the high points are keep creating low points, right? The lower highs and also lower lows, right? Yeah. So it's a kind of a downtrend. It's a kind of a medium-term downtrend. Last time I said, if cannot break out to rebound, bounce back to break out the yellow lines resistance, then it may keep dropping to the white line, right? To the white line, then began to rebound again. So which means it is still in the downtrend channel and like this. Yeah. So you can draw or you can make a prediction for the movements, of KLCI. It will be moved like this, because once bounce back, it will meet very strong resistance, right? No matter the blue bar or the yellow lines resistance of rainbow. But if later drop back to the white line, then it can get support, then bounce back will get resistance. So yeah, for short term, it may move like this. Yeah, move like this in the downtrend channel. If hit the lower channel, which is a support, and also if hit the white lines support, hit the white lines, we know is also the support. And if bounce back to hit the yellow lines, then we know it's a resistance. And also hit the upper channel of the downtrend channel is also the resistance, right? So only small opportunity or short-term opportunity. So which means once the market rebound for 1 week or 2 weeks, it's a good time for us to catch the rebound. And the whole February, actually, the market no big movement, either up and down. So back to the same place, because this small young candle is the first trading day of February. Then starting rebound, yeah, for almost more than 1 week. Then finally in the middle of February, it dropped back again until the end. So back to the original place. So the whole February for KLCI, it is, yeah, if we check from the closing points, then no change. Yeah. So Then let's take a look for the sector or industry of the Malaysia markets. In the whole February, there are some of the some of the industry actually have very good performance. Okay, the first one we can see it is a construction index, right? Yeah, this is the first trading day of February. No, it's not first trading. First trading is the previous one. But anyway, in the second day, which is the 3rd February, it began to rebound until this Thursday. Yeah, since it meet the resistance of the year of the rainbow lines, right? Cannot break through, so that's why it reaches back again. So this is a whole performance in the February for this industry, for this sector. We see it has 73% range, right? Yeah, rebound for 5.73%. So maybe some of the stocks belong to this sector have very good performance. If you can catch it, yeah, then I think you still can get some profit. Later, we'll show you the individual stocks, what's the performance for the whole February for the individual stocks. Even the whole market, no change, right? Yeah, up and down, back to the original place. But some of the individual stocks actually has very good performance, very good performance. So if we catch those so-called strong stocks or leading stocks in the market, then we can still get some profit from the market, actually. Okay, the second one is consumer. This one I also mentioned in the end of no, it's not in the end of January. I think in our member course, right? I mentioned about this index because every year we know before and after the Chinese New Year, maybe 1 or 2 months, this sector will have very good performance. Yeah, consumer index. Yeah, you can see very clearly. So the first trading day, it is actually from here. Yeah, until now, until this Friday, 18 trading days for this index, it up for more than 6%, almost 7%, and already hit a new high, break out the previous high, right? Yeah, you see. Okay. And the next one is the energy. Energy, more specifically speaking, we can see they are the oil and gas counters, right? Yeah, I think some of you, especially for our members, may caught the oil and gas counters and made some profit already. Yeah. So you can see also it is starting from the first trading day of February, 2nd of February, yeah, which is the lowest point until 26. No, until 26 is the last day. I calculate the whole period of whole February. So with whole, if it is a whole February, actually still have 16% rebounds. But if we calculate with the high points, the highest points, I think we have very, very good performance. On that time in our member course, I remember it is a Thursday evening when I give the member course to our members. I think I already give them reminds because at that time it already close to the previous high. Yeah, it's very close to the previous high. And also according to Homi Software Dynamic Chips, we can see it already showing us the red color stands for overbought, right? Yeah, overbought, which is risk. Yeah, short-term risk. And also the previous high we know is a resistance level, right? Yeah, it's a common sense. Previous high is a resistance. So next day you see close as a in, then which means this short-term uptrend wave finished already. So if you bought some shares from this sector, then maybe you can try to take profit at that time for short-term, right? Yeah. Okay. And the next one is the industry production. For this sector also has good performance in the whole February until last trading day, slightly correction. So it up almost 10%, yeah, from the first day of February, this young candle, starting from this young candle. But before this young candle, we know on this candle, it gives us the oversold signal, which is opportunity for short term, right? So if next day it is a young candle and break out the previous, break out the last break out this candle, then which means that it is a short-term entry point. And also according to the support and resistance of rainbow lines, it drop back to the yellow lines, then it's also the supports, last support, right? Yeah. Then last one is tech counters, tech knowledge. But tech knowledge actually in the whole fabric is not the best one. It's not the best one, even it going up, right? But the best performance actually it is starting from these points. These points I remember it is 11 January. Yeah, I think it is on 11th January that day. The February it is still up for 8 point something. Yeah, 8 point something. But from 16 February until now, actually for this sector, it already keeping sideways in a high position or slightly down. That's really we can see the relation between the high tech counters with the US Nasdaq Composite Index, right? Yeah, because just now we mentioned for the Nasdaq Composite Index, it already dropped for almost 2 weeks, which means after the Chinese New Year, yeah, it already dropped for 2 weeks. So that's why it has the influence also to the Malaysia tech counters, yeah, tech counters. Because it already up for too long time. It's very bullish, very long bull markets, right? From last March until now. But actually, if from the long-term run, we can see it is still very healthy for the long-term trend. Yeah. Now we can only see it's a kind of short-term correction. Yeah, short-term correction. If not break down the yellow line support, we can only see it's a kind of a short-term correction for this sector. Yeah. But previously, it is really very strong. I mentioned many times, right? Every time you will see once hit the green line, then it will it will come back, rest back. But for this time, it already break down. It already break down the green line supports. So we need to take a look for the yellow lines whether the price can get support from the yellow lines or not. If cannot get support from the yellow lines and break down the yellow lines, then which means it will become to the medium-term correction or medium-term downtrend, right? Yeah. Because many people began to take profits for those counters. Yeah. Okay, then the individual stocks, the whole market individual stocks, let's take a look. Actually, in the whole February, just now we have take a look for the index, right? Composite index. We can see it is a doji from the monthly chart, the monthly candle. Monthly chart, which means one month, one candle stands for 1 month. It is a young doji, right? It's a doji. But actually, for the individual stocks, we have more than 600 counters went up in the whole February. Yeah, we can see the statistics over here. So which means in the whole February, we still have very high percentage to high possibility to make profits. Actually, it's more than 60%. So if we can catch the red counters, the red one, the stock one, right? Or the so-called the leading stocks or the strong sector, the hot spots, then we can still make some profits, right? So actually, no matter the market got what kind of a change or what kind of a news to influence the markets, it's only it will digest by the markets in very short time, right? Up and down. And also we know due to the coronavirus and the economy, we see from last year until now, and even in the whole 2021, we can see or we can predict that the whole market won't have very bullish, or we can see the super bull or bear market or big bear market. It will keep sideways like this, up and down. Yeah, because it will affected by the news, all kinds of news from the markets. So we can only see the market will keep to be a kind of a volatile market. So if it is this kind of a market, then what's the most important for our individual traders or for our retailers? right? We don't need to care about the market down and up and down, right? Yeah, but of course we know if the market has a kind of a rebound, no matter it is a short-term rebound or medium-term rebound, we have very good environment to invest the individual stocks. But even when the market correct or keep sideways or keep volatile, we still have chance to catch the strong stocks. So we need to study the tactics or the skills. How can we find what's the strong stocks? That's the most important for the individual traders, for the retailers actually. Okay, because the market will continue, right? Will always have opportunity for us. Yeah. So we need to master a set of skill. Then that's the most important, especially the stock selection skill. Yeah, stock selection skill. What kind of shares will be the strong stocks, and what's the characteristics for those so-called strong stocks, right? That's the most important. Okay, so that's what we want to learn, what we are going to learn for this class. Yeah, okay. And also the performance of KLCI in January. Just now we have see the monthly chart actually, but from the daily chart we can see this is the first trading day, right? 2nd of February, and the last trading day 26th February. So finally you can see no change, right? Up for 2 weeks, then down for 2 weeks, then back to the same place. So it's quite volatile, right? Then how can we get profit from this kind of market? Just now we have make the prediction. Maybe in the following market, it will still keep like this, meet the resistance, retrace back, and get support and bounce back like this, right? So how can we make profit from the market? Then we need to choose the right stocks, the strong stocks. That's a key point. Okay, that's a key point. So what's the strategy for current markets? Or in the following, I cannot say too long, but at least maybe the whole March, yeah, which means next month. What's the most suitable operation strategy for our retailers? Then, actually, for this topic, I have emphasized many times for our members, yeah, and also in the previous class, I also mentioned many times already for this operation strategy, yeah, for current market, which is follow the investment principle of cash as a king. Cash as a king, which is not means you need to keep your cash or keep your cash at in the bank. It's a kind of investment principle, which means if we buy stocks, once we make profits, right? If you are short-term trading, if you are a short-term trader, you need to have your own standard. And if you don't have very clearly standard for your trading, you don't know what kind of trading period is suitable for you. Let's say short-term, medium-term, or long-term, then you need to follow with the tool, right? Or follow with the indicator. Or maybe you can divide your capital into 2 parts, short-term or medium-term, like this, according to the trend of your particular stocks, right? Yeah. So which means if we have profit, then we need to get profit from the market. As we analyze the market trend just now, it won't have very bullish or very long bull market. Maybe just several weeks rebound, at most 1 or 2 weeks rebound like this, right? So if we didn't take profit at the high points, then we will see the market will drop back, right? Yeah, so very important is that if you have profit, you need to take profit. Okay, so under this kind of a situation, the most important, I mentioned many times, is that the stock selection is the most important. So we need to choose those strong stock, strong sector, right? Just now I have shown you how can we find the strong sector in the Homely software. Actually, as a member, you need to know how can we find the strong sector, right? We can compare the index, the composite index with the sector index, or you can combine with some other skills. Let's say the funds flow into this particular sector, then which indicates it may have it may have some opportunity, right? You need to pay close attention to this sector, and also you can pay attention to the strong stocks or leading stocks belong to this sector, right? Yeah, and for strong and stable stocks, we can divide our capital into two parts, just now I have mentioned. One part is for short-term trading. Another part you can hold for medium term according to the trend. And also we have the standard for you. What's a short-term standard and what's a medium-term standard? Okay. Dividing from the period according to TA, we see the short-term actually stands for which is the 6 to 10 trading days. That is the normal short-term trading based on the daily chart. And also we have the very short-term trading or the contra trading, which is 1 to 3 trading days, right? For this kind of trading, you must follow with the mini chart. Let's say 6-minute chart or 30-minute charts or even shorter, right? We have the live chart you can use for our members. And the medium term, according to TA, it is above 3 weeks to several months. Let's say 2 months or 3 months, this kind of a trading period, which belong to the so-called medium term. But whether one stock can hold for medium term or not, you need to check with the medium term trend, right? If the trend keep upwards, then you can hold it. But once it reverse down or break down the key points on the standard for medium term, then which means we need to clear our position, right? Yeah, we need to get out. So how can we find the strong stocks from the market? That's a key point. Is just now we have analyzed the news, no matter it's the interest rate increase or the US, the years of US, the US 10-year, right? Yeah, increasing. So this one is the real, we need to analyze the essence or the real reason why the price can going up. Not only the stock price, but also some other investment products, but also some other investment products. So the real reason actually we know is if this particular investment product want to going up, right? It must be supported by the funds flow in, right? It must be supported by the funds flow in, and continuously flow in then can only support the price to going up. Yeah, to go up. Okay. So in Homelink software we have the special function which is multi-color dragon MCD. The short form is MCD, which can help us to make it to catch or to track which stock, right? Which stock have the big funds flow in. Okay, that's a component. This is a component for this indicator. We have 3 different columns, 3 colors, right? The column we have three different colors. The red column stands for institutional investor, which stands for the big funds, right? The big funds. And the yellow part, which is the hot money, you can consider it as the foreign fund or some private funds flowing in and flow out very quickly, all in and out very quickly. This kind of hot money. Yeah. The last part is the green one. It stands for the locked retailers, means people who lose money but still hold. Yeah, not still hold inside or stuck inside this kind of capital. Yeah, most of the time we see it is the retailers, right? Yeah. So then what's the standard for us to use this indicator? We can see on the left side we have the percentage for the columns, right? Every day. It is from 0 to 100% every day. No matter it is 1 color, 2 color, or 3 colors. Yeah, every day is 100%. And the standard is quite easy to understand, just like a company. If you want to, if you want to have the power to make decision, we know you must have more than 1/2 of the shares, right? Yeah, which means a shareholder. If you got 51%, then you will have the power to make decision. So that's the same logic, which means if one color more than 50%, then which means it has the power to decide the price to go up or go down or keep sideways, right? So which means if the big fans, the red column increase and more than 50%, which means the bankers has the power to make decision. We know the bankers control the price. The purpose for the bankers to control the price is to pull up or push up the stock price, right? To make profits, right? And if it is a yellow part control the price, then we know the characteristic for the yellow parts we said just now is fast in and out very quickly. So can only get small profit or lose small money, right? Like this. But let's see if it is green more than 50%, which means for a particular stock, now it is most of the retailers are already stuck inside. So for this kind of stocks, it cannot go up very quickly. It must waiting for the green retailers disappear, right? Which means the green disappear, the retailers get out or sold out, then which means the bankers come in, then can only push up the stock price. So let's take a look for the shares in the whole February. What kind of shares have the very good performance in the whole February? Let's take a look. I think this one is the best one, right? In the February data pre, we can see very clearly it is starting only on 15 February. Yeah, that's the first day when it come out very clearly. So it is a very big young candle, and on that day we can see the green disappeared totally, and the red column more than 25, more than 50, and even more than 75. So as members, we know if red more than 25%, which indicates the bankers already finished accumulation period, right? If more than 50%, we know it already control the share price. And if more than 75%, we see the share price is under bankers' highly control, right? So the purpose, we know it is to push up or to pull up the stock price, okay? So we can see very clearly until last trading day of this month, 15 February to 26 February, only 10 trading days actually, only 10 trading days. It has, wow, almost 6 times, right? Almost 6 times profit. Very crazy, yeah. So this is the starting point. Yeah, this is the starting point. I remember on our member course, I also taught our members how can we catch this kind of share, because before it come out, we don't know, right? We won't pay any attention to this counter, but only the first day, when the first day it came out, then we know we can catch the opportunity by some scales, right? By some scales. So this is the signal for you when the first day it came out. Even we buy the next trading day when market open, and then we still have maybe more than 500 profits 5 times only within 2 weeks, 2 weeks trading days. And this is another one, Darwin. This is a PA, not the mothership. Never mind, it is the same actually. Okay, we can see for the latest wave, it is starting on 17 February only, right? Until the last trading day, 26. It's only 8 trading days, right? Yeah, less than 2 weeks. More than 1 time profit, 134% profit. So this is the key point, which means you need to pay attention to the sign or to the signal, to the characteristic of MCD. What's the performance or what's the criteria of MCD must satisfy? We can see very clearly the green disappeared totally, right? And the red more than a certain percentage, let's say no matter 50 or 75. It depends on the individual share. Okay, for this one, it's also the same. You see previously, it all have the green parts inside and also have the red. So And also have the yellow. So 3 parts both inside. Then we can see the price only keeping sideways, up and down. But from this day, when the green disappeared totally and the red increased compared with the previous day, increased and also more than 75%, which means banker already control the share price or highly controlled, right? Highly controlled, under bankers highly controlled. Then until now, only 8 trading days, we have more than 100% profit, more than one time. Really very fast. Okay, next one is GTA. This one 7209, right? Discounted. Later you have chance to check your own shares to see whether your share it is like this one or not. Whether the points you find that discounted it is from this day or not. Previously, we can see it all have green parts, right? So we can consider it's kind of for wash out the retailers, right? Yeah, both have the red, yellow, and the green, both have. So we must waiting for the green disappear totally. Green disappear totally, and this day the red increased and more than 50%, which means bankers control the share price. So 16 trading days we have 80% profits, right? This is 3 weeks, also belong to the normal short-term trading. And for this one, also the same. On this day, green disappeared totally and also the red more than 50%, which means banker began to control the share price, right? Control the share price. And even you see the secondary retreat back a little bit, but there's no green, right? So then later go up again, continue up. So 2 weeks only, yeah, 10 trading days, we can see over here from 15 until 26, also more than 100%, more than 100%, 115%, one time, more than one time, yeah. Actually, we have a lot of shares you can check, and also this one, Shannon, right? 7121 for this one. Previously, it's also a kind of an uptrend, but in this period, it has a correction and corresponding with MCD, it is a green column appeared. Green column appeared, which indicates the red one reduced, green appear, which means it's a kind of a wash out the retailers correction, right? Action, right? And later you can combine with another indicator together. You will know it's not the distribution of the bankers. It's only a kind of wash out the retailers, because or even you draw an uptrend line also okay, you can connect the low points, these low points together. You will see even the price retreats back for almost 2 weeks but didn't break down the uptrend line, and from this day green disappeared. Even the red one didn't increase, but next day we still have the chance to get in, right? Yeah, you may consider as the next day as the buy points also okay, because next day the red bar increased and also break out at a 10 days moving average. It's a good sign, right? It's a sign which indicates the bankers increased their position again, or it's a signal that the bankers began to push up or pull up the stock price again since they increased their position, right? Yeah. So until 26 we can see also more than one time profits. But recently maybe you need to pay attention since we can see the red bar keep reducing, right? Yeah. From this day it is more than 75%. Yeah, which means other bankers highly control, but now it keep reducing, which means bankers taking profit. Yeah, but maybe it's only a kind of a short-term correction or the wash out retailers action, right? If it is like the previous one, then maybe you can prepare to catch the short-term low points when the bankers finish wash out action, right? Yeah. So what's the next signal you can catch, you can monitor? You can see from here, which means the green disappear totally and the red began to increase. Then that's a signal. Okay, and also this one, after the short-term correction, after the short-term correction, the green disappeared totally. Then from this day, bankers increased more than 50%. Yeah, so that's the starting point of this run, of this short-term wave, short-term uptrend wave. So it is from 27 January until this Friday, last trading day of February. This one we have 20 trading days, 1 month, right? Yeah, 1 month. We have 161% profit. Okay, so this is a key point or starting point for this wave. You need to find the day which is the starting point. That's a key point. That's very important. Okay, and also for this one, Media Prima. Previously, we know it's a very good share, all the way up, right? Uptrend wave, uptrend counters is all the way up. Only correction in the period, got some small correction. Some people may wonder whether you don't mention here. Here also okay, right? When the green bar disappear. Yeah, this day is also the starting point. But the latest wave, it is from here. You know why? It is because the red bar increased a lot, right? Yeah, the red bar increased a lot compared with the previous days. Yeah, and also it began to it break out or upward penetrate the purple line. We know the purple line actually it stands for the 10 days moving average for the bankers, right? For the bankers, for the red bar. So if the red bar began to the first day breakout or first day upward penetrate the purple line is also the starting point for the short-term wave. Okay, and recently also we need to pay attention. It is because the red bar began to reduce, right? Yeah, red bar began to reduce, which means bankers try to take profits. Actually, if you know how to see the candlestick pattern, after these two candles come out, we need to sell, right? We need to take profit for short term because it is a bearish engulfing. You see the big yin already engulf the previous small young candle, right? Yeah, swallow the previous small young candle. So it's a bearish candlestick pattern. But also, if you can combine with some indicator, also we can catch the buy and sell points. For Andrew, also the same. The latest uptrend wave is starting from this, starting on this day, when the red bar increased compared with previous days, and also it break out the 10-day moving average line. It is a short-term uptrend wave starting point until this Friday. We have more than 50% profit for short term, only 13 trading days within 3 weeks, right? Within 3 weeks, I think it has very good performance. Yeah, and this is previously. I think I've showed to you in the end of January. Yeah. Also, you see, starting on this day. So you can always find this kind of shares if you master the skills, right? Yeah. Let's see the starting points from here, and the next wave it is from here, and the next wave it is from here, right? And the latest wave it is from here, right? Yeah. We can use MCD to help us to find the starting point for the short-term wave. Either green disappear after the short-term washout of bankers, the washout action, which means the green disappeared totally, and the bankers began to the red bar began to increase and more than 50% or more than 75%, or it first day break out the 10 days moving average of the bankers. That's the signal for the short-term wave. But the precondition for this kind of shares is that previously it is an uptrend counters, right? So just now we can see the shares I showed to you. Some of them you can trade for short term and the medium term both. Okay, let's see this one, Andrew. Right, previously it already break out the long-term resistance and reverse to long-term uptrend. So your long-term position or long-term cost is in the lower place, low position. And this is only the short-term wave for you. So which means you have one part of your capital already buy at a very low price and you hold until now. And this is the latest wave is for your short-term trading capital, right? And also like this one, right? The starting point, it is from here. And this is the latest wave only. So one part you bought from here and the short-term part you can bought from here. And also you can buy from here and also buy from here, both okay, right? Yeah. And just like this counter DNO, we have mentioned many times in our class, right? Yeah, we can see it is very healthy uptrend, our bull markets, since it is very stable, right? Because the bankers always keep above 50%. And even 75%, right? Yeah, 75%. So it is all the way up. So every time after the small correction or short-term correction, you can find an entry point, right? You can find an entry point. So for the stock selection, we can make it by MCD in Homely software. As long as you set the criteria, it can help you to find this kind of shares within 2 minutes, right? So either you can use the P chips more than 50% and there is no green bar, or you can set the condition as the P chips first day breakouts is purple moving average, both okay. Yeah, both okay. So you can set the criteria to filter the shares, just like the example I showed to you. Yeah, this kind of shares you can find it. You can find out with the program, with the filter program, with the filter platform of Homely software. Then after that, you can combine with some other indicator to catch the entry and exit points. We know for stock trading, there are 3 steps, right? The first step is for stock selection, and the second step is analysis. So after analysis, if we think it is okay, then we can go to buy and sell according to, you can combine with another indicator which is TradeXpo. Well, I think we are quite familiar with, right? Quite familiar with this indicator. Even you are now members, I think if you are follow with Homely for a period of time, you must be very familiar with this indicator because it's very simple but very useful, right? Yeah, we just pay attention to the column, change color, then which indicates the entry and exit come out. So the first point is that we must choose the shares. This line must be keep upward and purple color, which stands for medium term uptrend, right? Yeah, main line stands for medium term. So the line must be keep upward and purple color. So it's only this kind of shares. It is a medium term uptrend shares. And the second part is a column. The red and the green column stands for short term up and down. So the first red it is buy point, and the first green is your short term selling points. So just like I mentioned, if you don't know how to buy or sell, if you don't have very clearly operation strategy, you don't know what's the most suitable strategy for you, trading period for you, let's say short term or medium term, then you can divide your capital into 2 different parts. One part is for short term trading, another part you can trade for a hold for medium term according to the trend, right? As long as the line keep upward and keep purple color, then which indicates it is still in the medium term uptrend, which means we can still hold it. And another part you can trade for short term according to the column. So when the first green change to first red, it's your short term entry point corresponding with the red column increased, MCD, right? Red column increased and breakout the first the purple line, right? It is a short term entry point. And when the candle change from red to green, then which means for short term you need to take profit. Just like GINA Tech, we can see the latest short term uptrend wave. It is from this day. Just now we use MCD to check. Also starting on this day, right? Yeah. You see on this day, the green disappeared totally and the red bar increased more than 50% and break out its purple line, 10 days moving average line. And also MCD, trend export on this day changed from green to purple above the purple line. So it is a short-term entry point. And until the first green come out, when the first green come out, which indicates it's going to short-term correction, it's going to drop for short-term. So which means for short-term, we need to take profit, right? Yeah. For short-term trading, we need to take profit. But for medium-term, you can still hold according to the line, right? Since the line are still keeping upward and purple color, so which means medium-term, it is still okay. So this short-term wave, only 17 trading days, we have for 157% profit, right? Yeah. Okay, so actually all the shares I mentioned just now, you can use the two indicators combined together to trade for medium term or short term, both okay. Yeah. Some is suitable for medium and short term trading. Some is only suitable for short term trading, right? Yeah. Okay, this is a previous one. JHM last month, January, very good performance in short term wave. So okay, I check the time. Oh, 40 already. Okay, now we have maybe several minutes to check your shares. We can check 3. Okay, now you can tap your share in the chat room. Just give me the code will be better. Yeah. We switch to the software and take a look for your share. Okay, the first one is Inari, right? Inari actually is one of the share which is suitable for short-term and medium-term wave trading, right? Yeah, both okay. So we see for short-term, the latest buy point it appeared 2 days ago. Although it belongs to the tight counters, but for this one, it is still very healthy for medium-term uptrend, right? Yeah. You see, this time it cracked back since the whole technology sector reaches back, right? Yeah, but it didn't break down the green line support. Then you see next day, bounce back or rest back, actually. Yeah. You see, no matter you combine with rainbow yellow lines or trend export main line, both okay. So for medium term, it is still very healthy, right? Yeah. For short term, also no big issue since on this day just break out the previous high. So yesterday, Friday, it retraced back a little bit, open low, but closing pull up a little bit, right? Yeah. Okay, next one is 7 SKP. I remember it is 7155, right? Yeah, SKP resource. Okay, for this one, let's take a look. Previously, it is very good, right? Yeah, very healthy medium-term uptrend because all the way above the yellow lines and above the trend export purple line. But recently, also correction, and until Friday, we can see it already break down the green line. So which means next Monday or Tuesday, it is very important. If the green line it is still effective, then it will be like the previous time. Once breakdown, it will come back. So if next Monday it cannot stand above the green line again, then maybe high possibility it will drop down or break down the yellow lines and reverse to the medium term correction. And we see the red bar are reducing more than less than 50%, but The good sign is that there's no green, right? No green, so which means it's only so far we can only consider it's the wash out the retailer's action of the bankers, right? Yeah. As long as it is still stands above the yellow lines or the dark or the purple line of China Expo. So for medium term investment is still okay. One more. One more. Oh, I see somebody bought okay. Which one? Next one. Which one? Sorry. The first tree. Okay, 7 also belong to the Yuchi type, right? Yeah, Yuchi type. This one are still okay, right? This one is still okay. No matter short term or medium term, it is still okay. So if we check with the MCD, we can see the starting point for this short-term wave. It is started on this day. Since previously there's no green and also no red column, right? Only this day. From this day, the red column began to show out or come out, right? Come out. So this is the first day. And here now it is still okay, but the last 2 candles, you need to pay attention. The candle pattern seems not so good, right? With very high or long upper shadow stands for selling pressure over here. But it is still okay. For short term, I think you can use China Expo the first or the second red line. Since previously you see it retraces back, the second gray line, second one or first one, both okay as the support line. Or you just follow with China Expo, the column will be okay. Easier, right? Much more easier to follow with the China Expo column red or green. If like here, change to green, but the 6 broken lines are still keeping purple, then which means no big issue. You can still hold it, right? And here the same. Okay, more details, you can attend the member course about the detailed application for the 6 broken lines of China Expo. Or most of you already knew I think, right? Yeah. Okay. So if you want no more shares for members, you can check with your software, or after class you come to find me. And for non-members, you can go to find your teachers who invite you attend our class. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, last one is the advertisement. For non-members, if you want to join to be Homely members, since today is the last day, right? Last day is, I think they have got some promotion lah. Yeah, you can ask your teacher, your consultant, to know what's the details of the promotion, right? But anyway, here are the details for our package for our members, for non-members to join member. For the half a year package and for the lifetime package, we have different price and service over here. So you can take a look. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 50 already. So I think that's all for today's class. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and see you next time. Bye-bye.